Alrighty, here we are on the InfoWars. Seafood is impregnated with microplastics. Well, here we go. A study published in late December 2024 documented how Pacific seafood caught off the U.S. West Coast is heavily contaminated with microplastics. Really? You had to do a study about that? I've known about microplastics for what? A decade? I wonder how much that study cost. So, why is the Pacific so contaminated with microplastics? Well, here's what I could find. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch originated from maritime pollution gathered by ocean currents. It occupies a relatively stationary region of the North Pacific Ocean, bounded by the North Pacific Gyre in the Horse latitudes. The gyre's rotational pattern draws in waste material from across the North Pacific, incorporating coastal waters of North America and Japan. As the material is captured in the currents, wind-driven surface currents gradually move debris toward the center, trapping it. According to a 2014 study, discarded fishing gear such as buoys, lines, and nets accounted for more than 60% of the mass of plastic marine debris. Additionally, 80% of the plastic found in the patch comes from land-based activities in North America and Asia, while the remaining 20% comes from marine equipment and boats. So, of that 80% of plastic found in the patch that comes from land-based activities from North America and Asia, how much is from North America and how much is from Asia? If I had to guess, I would say 20% of that is from North America, while 60% is probably from Asia. The Yangtze River is a significant source of plastic waste flowing into the ocean. According to research published in the journal Environmental Science and Technology, the Yangtze River carries up to 1.5 million tons of plastic into the sea annually. This makes it the worst offender among the 10 rivers that contribute most to ocean plastic pollution. I think the other one is the Ganges, but I'm not 100% sure. The river flows through some of China's most densely populated regions, such as Shanghai, Wuhan, moving on, which collectively house nearly 500 million people. The pollution from the Yangtze River has severe consequences for both marine life and the millions of people who rely on the river for their water supply. Animals in areas surrounding the river have been found with microplastics in their stomachs, highlighting the disastrous impact of this pollution on wildlife. So yeah, given that the Yangtze River is the worst offender among 10 rivers that contribute most to ocean plastic pollution, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that 60% of that 80% found in the patch is from Asia. China mostly, then India. Why? China cares more about luring Western companies into China. In my opinion, if everything's manufactured in China, how could the West afford a war with China? If, say, China decided to, I don't know, invade Taiwan, because if I'm not mistaken, China really wants Taiwan. Would the West, the US, be willing to lose one of its biggest economic trade partners for Taiwan? Now, as for the Ganges River, it came up on my Google feed when I Googled most contaminated rivers that flow into the ocean. So, here's the Ganges River. It's one of the most polluted rivers in the world, with a significant amount of trash, including plastic waste, flowing into the ocean. According to recent studies, the Ganges River is responsible for pumping as much as 3 billion microplastic particles into the Indian Ocean each day. And as far as I can tell, the Ganges River and the Yangtze River are the two worst in the world, as far as I could tell. So yeah, there's definitely others. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a developing country that used their river that flows into the ocean as nature's sewage system. And yes, if anybody says, yeah, the West did that too, which in my opinion is reason the West shouldn't deindustrialize because we made that mistake, we learned from that mistake for the most part. So yeah, like I said in the beginning, I wonder how much this study cost. Anyway, take care out there in Clown World.